stuff real. Y'all, let's get this party started, y'all. Let's get this party started. Where is my co-host? Okay. Ladies STEM Co in the building, y'all. Man, let's get some more people in the building. Okay. Oh, I thought I accepted you. Hello?
What's up with the type?
What's going on
Young
with you? With the
Service
STEM
Society.
lady?
Cody.
Yes, man. I'm so glad you can make it on tonight's date.
Yes, yes. I'm on my way home, but we still going for it though. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. I think we
God,
got somebody else in
God
the
let me
building.
be able to log up in this mug because I ain't on my iPad. And I was on something different on here, but he let me log in.
Right
So
on, right
let's
on.
go.
Right on. I'm so excited, y'all. Let's get some people in the building real quick. What's up with it, Malisha? What's up with it, William? Waldorf Poems.
That's
See
what's
y'all in
up.
the building. Let's wait till we get some more people in the building.
We got Nooski in the building.
You know, you
Shit,
know, you know.
building.
They coming in, they coming in. Mila Karim. Ooh, the fruits of the spirit, y'all. Hello? Why did it say you was unable to join? Hello? I'm saying, don't tell me got technical difficulties. Um, yeah, practice. I'm not sure what happened. Mama, you can hear me? Hold on, let me remove real quick. Shot back up. Nah, it said you was unable to join.
Report said the knives.
Oh, there you go. You back on. It said you was unable to join. I don't know what happened, then it kicked you off.
Oh, they hate. They hate.
Man, it's too early to be hating Instagram. Come on, Mark. Don't be doing that, Mark. But yeah, hold on. Let's get some more people in the building. Some people in the building waiting for the people to join. Well, how was your day? You know, while we waiting for the people to.
My day was pretty good. You know what? I was busy
Yeah,
working, doing her, and other stuff too. But it was good though.
man, praise it. That's
Fine.
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's
How was
up.
your day?
It was cool. It was cool. I was able to make some content for my other page, and I made the flyer for the event. And I shared it. So it was cool. It wasn't as productive, but I did manage to get some things done.
Yeah, I did too. I did.
Yes.
They get look. Y'all can go on. If you don't catch it now, you'll catch it later. They can go on Stimulators Tim Cole page on YouTube. I broke down the 4 benefits of finding your
Yeah,
purpose. Go
heard it.
check it out.
Tap
Go
in.
check it out.
Yeah, tap in, tap in.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna wait for more people to join. Well, I guess we can start it off.
Said what?
So, I said I guess we can start it off. We still got my Alicia in the building.
Period. 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 Okay.
So,
Well,
the title it says the consequence of the lack of accountability. What's up with it, William Washington? Welcome to the building. Welcome to the building. Yeah, y'all want to welcome to join as well too. It's an open discussion. So if y'all hear something that may catch your ears, or if y'all have something that you guys can contribute to it, man. Okay, we got what's up with it? A real campaign. How you doing, brother? Y'all more than welcome to hit the button and request, and I will bring y'all in. Uh, let's dive in.
hola, everybody. Hola. I don't see the people. I don't know why I don't see them. Well, I don't see nobody's name. But
What's up with the Black
hola, all
Noise
you
Poetry?
that stepped up in the building.
Oh, what's up with the print? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One love, one love. Oh, we got okay. Come on, come in the building, then, brother. But yeah, so um, I want to know, sir, into like, how would you? What's going
What's
on, brother?
up, my guy? Go on, continue on. I'm gonna vibe with you for a few
Hey,
minutes.
I'm doing good, brother. Welcome to the live. This is my mother, my co-host. Into, you know,
Hola,
um,
how are you? How are you?
What's up, ma? How you doing?
Doing good.
You did a
what's
fine
going on with
job,
Blame on
mama.
Punch?
You got a fine youngster,
uh,
mama. You
I,
did a
I,
fine
I
job.
look. I give God all the glory. Ain't nobody but Him. You hear me? Nobody but Him.
Right.
What's going on with it, brother?
What's up with the king? What's up with you, king? What's up with the queen?
How you doing this evening?
I am truly blessed. It's always an honor to see you.
Yes, sir. You as well.
You know, we man, I look forward to what we got going on tonight. I definitely 100% look forward to it.
Period. I'm excited too. I'm excited too. This is a good topic, and a lot of people
Man,
uh pull up and take some get with some paper and some pencil and take some notes and do some self evaluation.
100%. You know, it was a blessing. I got my live back today on the day that y'all doing it. So, you know.
Period.
Hey, so,
Period.
yeah, so,
You know, so,
hey, so
well,
I got a question though. My bad, I don't mean to cut you off.
look what?
I got a question. So how would all of us individually, how would y'all identify accountability? Individually, how would each one of y'all define accountability?
Well, accountability to me is taking responsibility. Accountability to me is being able to sit down and have serious conversations with yourself and identify that there is a problem that you need to work on. So accountability to me is just has to do with identifying and to thine own self be true.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to go up top? I can go.
Oh,
um,
oh,
I'll,
oh,
I'll,
yeah. I'm gonna
oh, go
defer.
ahead.
Go
I,
ahead, fam.
um, Me, I'll take accountability as one as the queen say, identifying one's fault and having the ability to understand there is a fault and
Mm-hmm.
build from it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you know, as men, we sometimes we deflect from our accountability because we don't know there is a fault. So definitely taking that moment to look at that mirror and say, "Hey, look, I've done something wrong, and I need to find the root of why I need to accept accountability for it."
Mm.
Yeah. If both of those answers was man key on point, I just attached to it this. Accountability for me is not finding any words even in my heart to blame any other person for
Mm.
whatever occurs in my life, right? Because only when I take me as the problem can I have the power and the legal basis within my own framework and then within the divine laws to correct it as a problem when it's me. As long as it's them, I'm powerless because they can do what they want to do. It's just their life and they have free will. God gave it to them. But when
Right,
it's me, I can fix that.
right.
Right.
You still on? Something going. I don't know what's going on with your connection,
Who?
but you was girlfriend a little bit. Mama,
Oh, me?
nah, y'all
Oh,
good.
mom. Yeah, she's spinning right now. She might
He-
be in an area where the signal's not as good. There she go.
What you said. I like what you said when you said that word blame.
Mama, your connection big. Your connection big.
Is that
And she
me
muted right
breaking
now.
up?
There she go. There she go.
Is him
Yeah,
breaking
you
up?
breaking up.
I think everybody breaking
There you
up.
go.
Okay. Not for me. Maybe it's my phone.
Hey, young certified. I was chopping on this today, right?
There, yeah, cause
So got my
I said,
own
is
growth
that
and
me?
development or
Or
whatever.
I said, cause
You know
all
how
y'all
far I done
were
made it with what I have, and
okay. What's
I was just
the yeah?
duly taking note
My
that
connection
a
back?
lot of times in my life I blame
Am,
other people
am I in the
for
building?
not,
Mm.
I wanted to say something
white
about.
folks, the judge, the police,
Right.
whoever. Just blame somebody. And collectively as a culture, as a race of people, right? We have blame. We find a reason to blame everybody, right? When the opportunity is just 100% before us.
Right.
Even when it comes to the fact of after the fact you've been through some, how you gonna come back to the fight half healed?
Right.
How you gonna fight a real beast with one arm and one leg?
Mm.
That's a no win.
Mm. Right. Yeah. I like that analogy. I like that
And,
analogy. Oh,
and
go
for
ahead.
me, it's more of I'm understanding that, as he said, a cultural and generational trauma, father wound effect. Because my father's father never knew how to educate me. His father never knew how to educate him. So this information has been going on for generations and generations. We was never taught how to cope or delegate. So we always deflect from what it is that we didn't know how to cope or even express the emotional aspect about it. So we was only
Yeah.
taught to react. You know what I mean? So when we came in the house and said, "This person get out the house and go deal with it." Or we was told, everything was get out and go deal with it, go deal with it. Which now, as we got older, our ego and pride became with our emotions, which made us super reactors. So now, when we look at the image of what we look at in our own people and our own brothers, our own sisters, we don't look at them as value. We look at them as devalue because that's how we operate from within.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree with that. But I want to say something on what the other gentleman said, and he said this word a few times, and to me, it's very powerful. Blame. You cannot have no accountability when you're blaming people like that. That is something I feel that the world is just built up. Oh, it's that person's fault. It's that person's fault. It's that person's fault. So you can never get accountability blaming people.
Right.
And it's funny you said that because I was thinking on it earlier, and that word came up to me about blaming people. Like, don't
Nation, man.
now granted, there are some people in life that have had unfair situations, situations that they had no control over. They they had no input in, like he was saying, is due to parents and all kind of things, and they live a life under of blaming people. And it come a point to where you come to a settlement within yourself to be like, you know what, this did happen, this did happen, this did be the reason that I don't grow and go forth and do what it is that you got to do. Conclusion
Right.
that it is
But
your
we also have to identify that blame is a learned behavior. It's not nothing that's embodied within us. It's a learned behavior. So if we sit here and watch one that we consider to be a leader or role model engaging with somebody that's blaming each other, quickly we're going to take on that as being acceptable behavior. And now we operate under that state of mindset. Hold on one second.
think blame but that's printed down there, ain't it?
Hey, I got the pants for you. Hey, it's a
Okay.
3-time. Playboy. Playboy. All right.
Tay, is that printed?
All right.
Hey,
Cut that down.
I'll tell you another aspect of accountability, right? So when a person is actually totally innocent, right? So when a person is born and they come to life and they inherit hard circumstances, mama like this, daddy like that, no mama, no daddy, the person that they really blaming is God. And good luck with that one. You hear me? Because God ain't having it. Because when you come equipped with talents, gifts, and abilities. The bigger your calling, the bigger your purpose, the harder your circumstance is gonna be. Because how you gonna be ready for this challenge, right? Without resistance from the get-go. Tough people come from tough circumstances. One of the
Mm-hmm.
hardest men I ever seen, biggest and strongest. He started out his life being raped by another man. That's
Mm-hmm.
what drove him to put that work in to come like that, right? And he is hard. I'm telling you, his hand like a gorilla paw. If he smack you, it damn sure knock your hairline back to your ears. You know what I mean? But this is the circumstances that makes people. So when people come to life and they have a reason to cause the blame, I notice it's just an observation. They blaming God, and they blaming for a long time. They 40, 50, they still getting high, can't let it go, right? But anyway, this accountability thing, even where you totally innocent, right? And you have a cause to blame, nobody ever said life was fair, right? Nobody ever said life would be easy either. Nobody ever said you wouldn't be right and get crossed out. It's a lot of men met their last breath, and it was evil all around, right? And it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way that it is.
I would agree. You know, as you say, everything that you do, the decisions that you make holds a level of accountability. Because without accountability, a decision cannot be made. You know what I mean? So if it's a bad decision, you stand on what it is that you made the decision on. If it's a good decision, you still stand on it. You know, but at the end of the day, you are the ultimate decider of what your accountability will be or not be.
Is we still on it? Is we still? Because I
What you
don't
say,
know.
Queen?
Something froze
You
up.
got the flow. We can't hear you.
That too. And the kind of do rag, I know who names is whose. But I don't. Prentice, that's Prentice though, right? They can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Jesus. Come on. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Look, why I got the second to talk, because I'm in the car with this phone. But the gentleman down there with the dude no control over, right? I want to piggyback on that because I was a product of that. I grew up in some hard circumstances and I seen a lot of things. And for me, I looked at it like I took note of it. We'd say that I took note of it. And it was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of that. So I felt like I was taking for my environment, even though it was not me that was doing it, but yet I was taking accountability that I would not become a product of my environment in certain aspects. Do that make sense? What I'm saying?
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense because a lot of us growing up take accountability for what our parents have done. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it becomes so overwhelming because we take that on as we don't want to fail them from the decisions and experiences they made.
Yeah.
But now we're
Yeah.
living a life outside of what we supposed to experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
I am a
know?
product.
So yeah, I definitely been through that ringer, you know what I mean, as being a black man. But I think a lot of us, growing up in the poverty neighborhoods, and going even back to our first education of our history, we take accountability of what our ancestors been through. When in reality, we can't take accountability for it because we never experienced that part of that part of history. We only experienced the poverty aspect of it. You know what I mean? And then that's
Yeah.
where a lot of our devalue systems come in of thinking of now I'm taking accountability that I'm poor. I'm taking accountability that I'm in this environment. I'm taking accountability that I got to step out in the gang infested environment. I'm taking accountability. All these things you're taking accountability for, that experience is not really for you to accept, but that is the environment that you grew up in, and it's the only thing you know. You know, when you see something different now, I can take accountability for me stepping outside and taking a chance to step outside this community and see something successful to make change. But other than that, I'm in survival mode. That's the only thing I can take
Yeah.
accountability for, survival. And I'm every day of my life, I'm seeing something new. I'm just grateful to see it.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
I tell you about this accountability, right? It's really a great topic that you ain't gonna get a lot of action on because
No,
everybody's looking for
no.
somebody to blame.
Hey,
And it's your fault. You know what you did to me. You know what I mean?
see,
But see, I tell you
Dunkin'
what,
Donuts. Straight up. Yes.
a good example of accountability, right, is somebody who's raped as a young person, right? And then they go on to be promiscuous throughout their life. And every time somebody check them on it or try to straighten out this, you don't know what I went through. You don't know how it was. And
Yeah.
I understand what that's like, cause my brother, he told me one day, he said, "Little nigga, you want to smoke a joint?" I said, "Hell yeah." He fired it up. He handed it to me. As soon as I hit it, it started popping and cracking. I said, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, it ain't nothing. Little nigga hit it." I kept on smoking until I heard the first machine gun. Do, 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 do. I said, "What the fuck is that?" Then when I went and heard the train horn, I said, "Man, what you done put in this shit?" It was too late. He already got me, see? So later on through life, because I know what it feels like now, right? Later on through life, right? I went back to blaming him. This nigga did it to me. This my brother. He's supposed to love me. I always had a cause and occasion to blame him. But I finally got it. No, nigga, it ain't what happened to you. It's how you continued in it and continued to, you know what I'm saying, call blame.
Come on.
Yeah, put the finger on him. So it's a growth process. If you ever get if like he had to die, he was passed away about 3 years before I ever forgave him. I learned how to pick up the pieces for my own self. I couldn't even get better till I forgave him. The whole
Yep.
thing was in the forgiveness. Really, that's the whole thing about something terrible happening. It's supposed to bring that out of you so you can grow from it. But as long as you stuck and blame it, you'll never even forgive him.
I'm gonna tell you even a bigger thing that accountability affects us as black men. Our our level of deflecting our growth as men and understanding our place as men, that we deflect on women. We deflect everything that it is to identify manhood on woman to fix our problems. When in reality, a woman cannot fix a man masculinity problem. We have to do that inner work, or another man has to now be in the presence to show him the example of what it is that manhood exists, to go inwards to say,
That's true.
these were things that I failed to learn and the things that my father failed to teach me. You know what I mean? Now I have a grasp of identifying where I need change at.
Yeah.
You know, and we do that daily. Like I hear man daily on Instagram, you know, the woman this, the woman that, the woman needs to come in and, you know, and help me. No, how can she help something that is broken inside? She don't know what's within you to fix what's broken. You have to
Right.
fix it and then bring it back to the table as being fixed to be able to organize it so she can see it and understand it. But if you're broken, how can she fix it?
Right. Yeah, man. That's a powerful point. You know, man, God bless the black woman. She under so much attack. Everybody's at her right now, especially the man. It's your fault. You did it. You want to be 50-50. Them the women.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
you
But
know,
she
it's
narcissist. She's a narcissist. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
I got a question. So you saying
Yeah,
from the testimony you shared about your brother.
that is.
So you saying like taking accountability and it heals you in a way because when he was
100%.
like, yeah,
Go ahead. Keep on. Keep going. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, you can't heal till you till you take the love that's in your heart and apply it to the person that did you the worst in life. You can't. There's no healing
Yeah.
without forgiveness.
Right. Right.
And
And
the first level of understanding forgiveness is you got to forgive yourself first
that's where
before you can
accountability
even
comes from.
extend forgiveness. Because if you're not forgiving yourself, then how would you understand how to offer forgiveness? You
Right.
see what I'm saying? And you as black men, it's hard to say, look, man, I forgive myself, and I forgive myself for accepting this information. I forgive myself for not being a good positive role model. I forgive myself for not being a father. I forgive myself for not being a leader. All these things are elements that come along with manhood. And as me identifying more and more closer to what my manhood is, I'm afraid at that moment that I'm going to change. Because now I'm reaching areas of my vulnerability. And I was never taught that my vulnerability is my strength, but it's always been taught to me as being my weakness. You know what I mean? How
Mm.
dare I expose all this to you so you can use it against me? And this is what a lot of men say. I don't never let a woman know my vulnerability because she used it against me. How can something of vulnerability be used against you if it already happened? It happened already.
Mm.
No one can use it against you unless you take it in as something
Being
can be
used
used against you.
against you.
So you're now making
Yeah.
another decision to say this person has so much power in the words I just spoken to her or him to say this is a vulnerability against me. I weaponize this person against me, but I'm holding you accountable for saying it to me.
Right. Hey, I want to add this too, man. A misapplication, a misunderstanding, and a lack of overstanding about the child's self is something that is destroying the manhood community.
Yes, it
Because okay, so there's a child me. Child me, I grew up, yeah, but the child me is still in me. And when you do grown man shit with a child me, what that child me is turn against you, right?
Mhm.
And then the application of the shadow. So there's a devil in me, there's a God in me. Kind of like the story of the two dogs in the person.
for
Whichever one you feed
sure.
the most get the strongest, right? So I got a shadow. Now there's a devil in me because somebody crossed me out. The first thing they say is, yeah, nigga, they might not know who you are, right? If I say, yeah, he'll come on to the forefront. But if that God step up and say, you know what? Man, this is not an occasion to find fault. Man,
Yep,
forgive them people. Move
yep.
on with your life. Go on. Now you know what it is, right? Then that's who come forward, right? So anyway, the integration of the shadow, accepting the devil in me, so I can deal with the devil in me, right? I can't control what I don't accept if I don't acknowledge it exists. And that's the same truth about the child self. I had to go back. It's called Ho'oponopono. It's a practice where you write something with your right hand and then you answer it with your left hand. You tell your
Mm.
child self, I love you, and you write with the left hand. Your child self talking back to the grown man, I love you back. And it's some type of spiritual transfer that occurs where you and your child get back in one. And you get your smile back, you get your laugh back, you get your freedom back. You know, them things that used to hurt, no, they forgiven. It's some type of process that occurs.
Yeah. And
Right. I,
um,
I wanted to say
uh,
this real quick because I wanted to piggyback off what he said.
real quick.
When we as black men, we have to come first and understand this one thing. There is it's one creation that we can never avoid or run from. And that is that we are black men and the black women are the nutrients of this world. We are the soil of this world. You know what I mean? There's nothing that can reduplicate us. So how is it that we are the most valuable thing on earth, but we are the most devalued mindset on earth? So we've been psychologically taught and through religion and everything else that we are the most devalued person, but we are the supreme being of what it is that created it. So when you get back to understanding that you are the soil and everybody is taking parts of this soil to now branch off to grow from, there's nothing else that can counteract you because you know that you are the value of what the world operates from.
Yeah, because without you, ain't no world operating.
That's why we
So
are the most searched out, the most researched, the most everything in the world because they trying to figure out why is our bloodline so potent.
Ain't no quitting
You see what I'm
now,
saying?
is ain't no give up on it.
No, you
No,
know,
man. Hey, yeah.
we is the most studiest thing in the world.
Yes, we
For
are.
real though. Hey,
Yes,
really.
we are.
So the battle, we actually don't have a op. On accountability, we really don't have an opposition. It appears so for our own understanding, but the real opposition is us,
Yep.
because there's
For
no
sure.
limit to us, nor is there any limit to what we could do, especially if we were working together.
Yeah.
One is linear,
Right,
two is exponential. One put 1,000 in flight, two put ten
Two
thousand.
put 10,000 come through like you do.
right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I put myself in a position as a narrative creator, right? If I can control your narrative, I can control your mind. If I can control your mind, your body follows.
But
So,
still,
it,
even in that though, ain't no accountability. If you're letting
right.
someone control your mind, you're not taking accountability.
So that shows you what mind state of mind that our communities and the world of black men and women are in, because somebody's controlling our narrative to look at each other as being devalued.
It's
As
still
I'm-
them versus them though. I mean,
But
just
at the
for
end of the
example,
day,
right?
we
You ever seen it?
acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
when you
Yeah,
acknowledge, just like we acknowledge slavery happened, right? And the first thing we do is we put a entitlement that you give us back our 40 acres of the mule, or you give us that, or this didn't happen because what you did to us, it would have not happened. We now acknowledge that there is a situation that caused a ripple effect, right? Now, if we hold on to that in our mental, that controls the narrative that every time we think about doing something, the white man done this or this person then done this. Now, solution based should happen at that point, because once you're aware of it, it can no longer affect you. It should have a solution to it at that point.
I
Because
think
now
But
I
I
can't
think
this,
it's more
operate
but
under it.
complex
this,
than that.
this something I know when it comes to people, period, in general. And we ain't even got to just talk about slavery or any of that. But I do get what you're saying, Prentice, though. But the thing about it is that even in that, it still comes a point where our people or people still don't want to take accountability, though. So it's like, where do we go from there? And they stay in a perpetual state of blame game. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't in slavery, but I know what they did to my ancestors, though. But it still got to come a point where we got to stand up and take accountability. And something I know about people too, as well, is that you can come with the solution. You can come with the whole plan, the solution, and how I can carry out, lay the whole vision out there, and people will still not take accountability. So what is it that we do then?
Well, as men, we only as men we have to establish a group of men and operate only in the man experience, and women have to address women experiences, right? This is where the change happens, because the next generation come up under us. The men have taken accountability for ourselves and now operating in this purity. The generation change happens because there's no room for error. We let them know the decisions you make after you talk to me and I learn your experience and you using the tools of my experience to guide your life. There's no excuses. You cannot make any excuses. Here
I mean, but even
it
in
is.
today's date, that's happening. People
Right.
are giving
So
their experience and they're giving their knowledge, wisdom to the next generation, and still there is no accountability. Me
right.
personally, I believe it starts with changing the mindset, because wherever the mind goes, the body will follow, like you said earlier. If we don't change our mindset and build a different dynamic within the mental and the emotional, as well as the spiritual, we are constantly, and this could go for men or women. There'll constantly be a perpetual broken state in men, and there'll constantly be a perpetual broken state in women. I know as for me that my life changed and I start taking all accountability for every aspect of my life when my mindset changed. So when your mindset
And,
change, we gotta
and
first
then
change the mindsets.
and then that go back
Right.
to what you just said too. When you say like even when people they could come with a whole plan and a whole solution, but Yes, then
Still,
no accountability.
I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it. I'm talking about within my own family. I've witnessed it just with people I don't know. Cause one thing for sure, I have a passion for people. I love people. But this I know though, if people don't change their mindset, I don't care if it's a man, a woman, or a dog, cat. It don't matter. If they don't change their mindset, it will be perpetual and it will continue to flow throughout time. So
For sure.
everything starts in the mindset, and I with accountability, you have to break everything down and then
Decode.
rebuild it back up.
Right. So if we
Hey,
got a
hey,
kid, if we got a kid in a impoverished neighborhood, and the only thing he understands is devalue operations of thinking, critical thinking, because he don't critically think until after the fact, right? A situation happened. Study him critically thinking before, right? So we understand that this child is in an impoverished neighborhood of everything that operates around him is devalued. He won't know the change of mindset until one of us as men take him out of that environment and show him something opposite to change that mindset. Because
No, that's not true.
the
That's not
men
true,
that's
Precious. And I'm gonna tell you why. And and please don't take, but because
no
I myself, or in even right now, cause see one thing about me, I don't mind telling my story. I'm in I'll put it like this. Thank you, Lord. It's not always that you are fortunate to be taken out of an environment before you can build your mindset. And I know this to be true
right,
because I, even now in the place that I am in life, is I'm not in the environment that I would picture for myself. But this I know is that I have to fight daily, minutely, secondly, and hourly to keep my mindset at a place of accountability and keep it at a certain standard. And I would say that to say that that would be the ideal way of doing it would be like a fairy tale. Because what about the people that were in slums? Slums, I'm talking about straight slums. And they didn't have that benefit of being taken out of that environment to rebuild their mindset. But it all goes back to you have to change, whether you in the slums, whether you in Prince of Bel Air, wherever you're at, if you don't change your mindset, you're not coming out of it. And we have to be even accountable to say that I'm gonna change my mindset whether I'm in the slums or whether I'm in the Beverly Hills. I'm changing my mindset. So the change of mindset don't start with a place, it starts within.
mm, I,
I would agree with you on that because as we know, as a man that's been in prison 33 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
The environment that I'm currently under doesn't give me anything but negative options, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I understand and respect what you're saying, but at the same time, this mindset I only had to change because the masculinity aspect of it, the man experience of it. I'm not faced with anything opposite of what the world can offer me, so I had to only do from inner work of man experience. A feminine
Yes.
experience
I got
is
a
now no
question.
longer associated with it.
well,
You see
hey,
what I'm saying?
can I throw something in there? Just
Yes,
a little
sir.
variable.
For sure.
So I think it's true from both sides, but I will go down this pathway right here. So there's a condition known as black man, white mind, right?
Mm,
Because the mind state is energy. So
Yes,
we're
it
really
is.
talking about frequency and vibrations, right? How people are vibrating. So some people, and the good book says, as many as would come would be saved, but they ain't
Mm-hmm.
coming because they got that old mindset and they got that
Mm-hmm.
old mind state. And not everybody is created to be chosen, right? It said many are called, but few are chosen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some were created to be destroyed. Why? Because they will never change that mind. They can't go where the cherished and the chosen people go, right? Because they put in the work. And really, it's not anything anybody else can do for you. You have to make a decision.
yeah,
Yes.
Anything
yeah,
precipitated with a decision.
and then I
Yes.
wanted to add something in it too. Princess, cause when you kept saying like about when you kept mentioning like poverty, people coming from poverty conditioning. What is the excuse for people that they may grow up in the suburbs who may have the benefits and the resources available to them, but yet still they still like accountability as well. Like they may have they may, like they may be doing something, still too, but yeah, they still like an accountability too. But yeah, they still got the resources. They got all the help
But
they
see,
need there. But yeah, they still
here's
like
the thing:
accountability with their actions. Whenever.
people born into privilege don't understand rules and regulations. People that's born in poverty understand rules and regulations because you're forced into it. But when the person of riches fall from what they have been receiving, then they fall into the mindset of now trying to do whatever they can to get back to that status, and they will commit whatever illegal thing that it is to get back to that status. So there's no rules of engagement at that point. So the mindset never changes. It goes back into what we all been talking about: accountability. If you have it or if you don't have it, the mindset, it operates on what you believe is the facts of what you're living in that experience. And if you
I
never
mean,
was
yeah,
taught
that
how,
plays a big role. That do plays a big role in shaping the mindset. Yes, it does.
right? So if you was taught all your life one way, and you never seen anything opposite of that way, how do you come out of that mindset? Because your mindset is created to be devalued. You was never taught that failure is your first option in life. Because without failure, you don't know how to go back and correct. Without failure, you didn't if you didn't fail from it, you were successful at it. So you knew success, but if you failed, you knew how to get back to success because the correction that you needed to do to get there. We was never given them options. We was only taught failure and continue the downfall
That's
in
not
failure
true,
because
though. That's not true, Apprentice. There is some truth to it, but that's not the full truth, though.
okay,
You
tell me the
know,
truth.
I mean, no, what you're saying is truth to it, but that hasn't always even been our people's story. That haven't been
But
all of our people's story, and yet they still have this disruptive, tainted mindset. Everybody did. Even I'm talking about if we want to even take it to ethnics and nationalities. Every black person did not have a distorted background or an environment, but yet they have a corrupt mindset that causes them to not take accountability.
and
So go ahead. Go ahead.
and that corrupt mind started when I first started. My father of fathers never taught me the correct information as a man.
But that sound like not taking accountability.
No. Once I realized and come into my experience of what manhood is, I am breaking that generational curse because now I acknowledge that I am going to take responsibility of what I do from that point on. I realize at everything that I do in that moment of my life, I make the decision on it and I stand on it. I'm not living off of what my father experience was anymore because now I have to take accountability. The Bible says when I was a child, I spoke as a child. When I wanted to become adult, I had to put those childish things away, right? So at that point, you became men. When God said respect the woman as you respect the church, when you're disrespecting the woman, you're disrespecting yourself. Not only are you disrespecting yourself, you're disrespecting the church. And the Bible says man must separate himself from what society has to offer and pull back into his own understanding. Man don't do that because there's
Well,
two
you know
types of
what?
things we deal with in life.
You just said something really good though that I like. You said separate. And when I think of accountability, that's what it always boiled down to. You have to separate yourself from a place of delusion and lies, or even the truth. So I like that you said that. Yes, you have to, when you said God say separate ourselves from the world, separation, even when I think of accountability, it takes even having to separate from your old way of thinking, the lies that was told to you. and everything. But I want to ask y'all a question because this just came to me. So, in order to take, this is a question. Do y'all think in order, okay, let me word it like this. Do you think that some people don't take accountability because of pride, arrogance, and uh
All
cockiness
right.
or conceitedness?
Yeah, that's the I believe that's the inception, the beginning. That's the birth of not taking accountability because even when what's up with it, toy? Even earlier when we was talking about unforgiving, and not when we was talking about when he was telling your story, a real campaign when he was telling yo about your brother and stuff like that, and I asked like, so you saying like accountability, it's healing, and we was talking about like how it helped you to forgive, yeah. I feel like pride is like stone, it's like a brick wall, it's on penetrate, it's on penetratable, but once you take accountability, you allow this and you allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's like you're allowing yourself to be, twisted and moved, and, penetrated. So you allowing things to get through to you. So when somebody do chastise you or correct you, you're not offended. You know what I'm saying? That offending is come, from that stone. So yeah, I don't know if the answer your question, but yeah.
But no, 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 no.
I think
No.
the rules of engagement that you set with yourself, or if you are a breaker of your own rules, then nobody can penetrate you.
Wait, you said
Okay,
what?
why you
If you a
say
what?
that, Prentice?
Meaning that if I'm setting the rules of how I engage with people as a man, and if I'm not valuing the rules that I set for myself, meaning if I say I'm never going to lie and I start lying, and somebody walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're lying," I'm going to now take offense to that because I'm the rule breaker of that lie that I said I would never I said I would never do. So I'm not taking accountability for my lie that I just spoke. I set the rules for my engagement with the contact that I'm gonna have with whoever, may it be black woman, or society as a whole.
Hmm.
Hey,
Hmm.
hey, I
You
got a
got
different
Nisha
view.
down there that says sometimes people don't think that anything is wrong. I
Hey,
hope I'm saying her name right.
I'm a
Yeah, you
ride
said
with
right.
I'm a ride with Nisha because right, it's some people right, and this kind of break from regular tradition, but some people it's not for them. The cream rises to the top. This is for a group of people who willing to do the work, who willing to take the blame, who willing to deal with their own devil, right? So yeah, some people, no, I ain't did nothing wrong. It was you, and they're gonna always be that way because that's who they are, and they won't
Because that's
change from that
deflecting.
ever.
You ain't go back to penetratable.
Yeah,
And
And
then
then I go
that's
ahead.
deflecting. When you deflect, you don't take accountability or responsibility for what it is that you created.
yeah, so that goes back to what my mama said about pride when she asked, if
Right. And that's one of black man's greatest defenses, that we deflect from what it is that what we're putting out there to take accountability for.
and then too and then too talking about pride. We see that a lot, in relationships as well too. And I feel like just like hearing that when we think about relationships in general, especially within the black community, but like
I'll be right back. Give me
it's
2 minutes. I'll be right back.
it's like we see like men with ego issues and pride when they wives trying to correct them, what I'm saying, or try to tell them something or teach them something. It's like some men, it's like they got their brick stone up, they got a wall built up. When it's like when they women try to correct them out of love, they take it to heart, they take it to offense,
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah,
going on.
that's ego. To
Yeah,
me, that falls under. So as you was talking, that made me think like it's many things that could block a person from receiving the accountability they need to receive to help them grow and become better.
right.
And it could be pride, it could be ego, cause and Tay, I'm glad you brought that up because that's really a big issue in relationships, especially when it comes to men. And you know what? Especially our men too as well. It's like can't no woman tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think you are? But the thing about it in that, and I hope a whole lot of ears hear this, if not now, later on. The thing about that is that that's what your partner is supposed to be there to do.
Right.
Your
Yo,
partner
help me.
is supposed to be there to help you
Right.
be accountable. Because sometimes people don't see things, and that's okay. So
Right.
if your partner slide up on you and say, "Well, look, you know what, you was wrong for that," or maybe you shouldn't have did it that way, you shouldn't look at your partner as the enemy. You should be looking at it as they're holding me accountable.
Right.
They're helping me. So that's something that I believe all relationships when it comes to, and it ain't just men, because I don't like when it come to me, there are principles to life. That's how
Mhm.
I operate. Principles to life. I don't care if you a man or if you a woman. So men and women do that as well. And I would like to tell anybody, if you got a partner and you this your ride or die, or this the person that you are supposed to be building life with, if they are holding you to be accountable, it should be something that you want to look at instead of letting egos
Mm.
get in
Hey,
the way.
can I drop this right
Uh-huh.
here? This is the
Mm-hmm.
definition of unconditional love, right? According to universal divine law. Total
Yeah.
acceptance of others without any attempt to change them except through the execution and practice of your own action and belief. Right?
Okay,
I
say
ain't
that
trying
again. I'm sorry, I
the
ain't hear you.
total
Start.
acceptance of others
Mm-hmm.
without any attempt to change them except through the execution and actions of your own practices and belief. So I
Mm.
don't try to teach, I don't try to coach, I ain't trying to tell nobody nothing, right? I'm just making a determination. Is this something I could tolerate over an extended period of time? Right? So
I
whatever,
mean, it's
whatever.
a point for that
No,
though.
but
But
I'm
if
saying
this your
unconditional.
mate,
Well, I'm just talking about unconditional love, right? Because unconditional love, you do what you do, and I still love you anyway, right?
no. But
Because
I'm saying you not gonna hold your mate accountable though.
if they're
I ain't talking about
a full-grown
trying to
adult
change
person, they know
someone.
exactly what they want to do. They're
No,
doing what they
no,
do.
wait a minute. But you ain't answering the question.
Go ahead.
You not gonna hold your mate accountable. I get what you're saying. When I say I totally get what you're saying because I ain't with none of that either. I don't even I once did that. I don't try to change nobody. And I like what Nisha said down there, submission goes both ways, but that's not talked about. But if you got a mate, I'm talking about this is your lady.
Mhm.
Now this is and this how I look at it. If you got a mate, this somebody you building life with. So you mean to tell me to slide up on your mate and to say, you know what you did that was not okay. Or the way you went about that is not okay. You would view that as you're trying to change someone?
Right. So I would not even complain. I wouldn't say well, not one word. I wouldn't even. You do you. I respect what you're doing. A full-grown adult person, they know exactly what they're doing. Now you can bring
Not
it to their attention.
everybody.
Well,
Not everybody.
so it's for me. I'm just saying. Now I would say I didn't like that what you did when they said why. Maybe I would give a brief explanation, followed by, "But you're an adult. I respect your right to do what you want to do, be who you want to be with, see who you want to see, think how you want to think."
I can get that. I can get that. But you least would say that, look, what you did that was not okay, or that was not cool, or whatever. You at least speak on it, because to me I feel like you ain't a mate if if you don't slide up on me and you know that I'm doing something wrong, and I might not even be aware that it's wrong, or I could have went about it a better way, and for my mate to slide up on me, I don't want you if you ain't gonna tell me, like, you know what, babe, I think that what you did that was not right, that was not okay, you shouldn't have went about it that way. Now I get what you're saying. No, ain't nobody finna sit up and argue. I'm not finna change you. I'm not finna even try to convince you. But I at least
But
want my mate to tell me if I'm in error, or to tell me, hold me accountable.
Yeah,
Hold me
and
right,
accountable.
especially,
but
especially the analogy when you just said too, when you was like, if I'm doing, like Nisha saying, communication is necessary in relationships. Like, and then too, like, it don't even gotta be like when you holding your partner accountable. It don't gotta be um like something major. You feel me? Like something like, yeah, you grown. You should know better than do that. But it could be just something with you. Like you may not be so clingy, but your partner, she may be really really clingy. So she may always be on top of you, but you don't really like that. So you gonna just let your partner just keep doing it, or you gonna speak up and just be like, nah, with the wolf.
No, Dante. Now I don't know where y'all.
Now, cause when he said,
This is
cause
going
when,
left.
cause when he said
No,
communication, when you was,
That
when
that
you
no.
was,
comes to a place of and you know what? This the thing to kind of go back to what she said about communication. When it comes to certain things, we have to dissect them, and section them off. Now, I feel like, Tay, what you're talking about uh goes in the more of the line of compromising, you identifying if this something you could put up with or not. Because people are different in relationships. What I may like, my man might not like. What my man may not like, I might not like. But my view is that if my man likes something and it might not be my top tier, I'm gonna do it because that's what he likes. Now it is some things where it's like, babe, no, look, I'm sorry, I just can't do that. But no. So how you hold accountability, Dante? By telling
See,
him I don't like for you to be on me like that.
my
see,
bad,
Just trying
my
to figure
bad,
here,
my
this
bad.
here,
out.
here's the thing, though, right? Having a significant other, right? Understanding that the significant other is your best friend. So in the initial part, you delegated openly and honestly with each other to the point. Now, getting into a greater understanding of a relationship or marriage, are you equipped enough, or is your partner equipped enough to receive the information that you now finna embody into them? Most people are not. Then got into a relationship and they have somewhat became apart because of the irritation and lack of information that education that we used to delegate from is no longer existence. Now we're living together. You know what I mean? Now there's some things that you say may irritate me or trigger me, and that trigger, I may not be open to that conversation anymore because you don't to me anymore. What you used to talk to me in a way of clarity and somewhat of nurturing is no longer existing. Now it's all about, look, I told you, or you should know better. You know, it's a talk direct at me versus talking to me.
Yeah,
So
that's
we have to make sure that when we are saying that we come into our partner for correctiveness, it's about putting them in that place of comfort to receive the information that we have to offer them for correction. And all we're
that
doing is planting a seed. We're not telling them what to do. We're planting a seed for you to now take that information
and you got
and now
to see.
dissect it
Mm-hmm.
on your own. And
Yep.
if you
Hey,
continue
hey,
that behavior, it's up to me now to say, I don't think I want to be a part of this anymore.
There you go. And
right,
that
right.
is true.
Well,
But you
well,
got some people in the comment, they're asking some and saying some really good uh
well,
questions.
well,
Like
well. I
Nisha's
started this mess, so let me clean up a little bit, right?
Yes,
So,
you did.
so communication is key. That goes without saying. But here's the thing: we all adults. We all been out in the culture. We all been in society, right? At a certain point, the communication becomes: I'm teaching you and I'm telling you what you need to do, so we could be okay. So now I'm
Mhm.
trying to control the whole situation. When the whole thing is, we're all autonomous. Now we can join together for a common goal with sacrifice. Something's gonna have to be lit at some point at some time, right?
Mhm.
There's so many issues to find fault with. I can't pick every issue and decide, okay, this is one I can deal with, this is one I can deal with, right? I can either make a determination to love you from over here or over there, but no matter what, I'm gonna love you. And that's more what it would be like than trying to change somebody or teach and coach them what's the nuances of how to be in a relationship with me, right?
Well, you know what? This is turning into a whole nother subject. I'm not gonna get on that because you said a whole lot that I want to get on, but I'm not gonna get on that right now. But we're gonna have to do another session about relationships and some other stuff. But look, we got somebody, Byron, I think Stephen Cole asked, who are you asking? Are you married? If they still on here, cause you got your people down in the comments. They talking. They are talking. So you
Yeah,
gotta tend to your
Right.
people. Right. You
yeah.
gotta tend because they ask. I'm looking at them. I'm like, I wanted to say something about that.
And
Yeah,
and
they do that.
that's a beautiful question, right? Because most people that like me, I've never been married. So for me to even engage in a conversation of marriage, that's outside of my experience. You see what I'm saying? So I could be sitting up here talking about marriage, marriage, marriage. I have never experienced what a marriage is. So I'll be falsely misrepresenting myself as a man, talking on a topic that I have no life experience in.
Um, well, Byron Stephen Cole said all.
No, I'm not.
Well,
I'm
Byron,
married.
I've been married. I'm divorced, so I can't speak for the rest of these people. But yes, I have been married before. So
I've been married
and
too.
and
Thank God
and
I
my
made it, right?
ministry. Yeah, periods, periods. Hey, but
Uh,
I can say that on that topic, a ministry was birthed out of my marriage when it comes to marriage, and I learned a lot, and God taught me a whole lot of just about the structure of family, period, just not marriage. So yes, marriage
Uh,
is a full commitment. Yes, it is.
But
It is a full commitment. But that does not mean that I will not hold my partner accountable, especially a man. As for a woman speaking, because I'm a full believer that the man is the head. Now, it was once upon a time that I was very independent and very strong minded, but God had to break me down and teach me some things. So I'm a full believer as man is the head, but I'm also a believer of what Nisha said as well, as submission goes both ways. A man got to submit to a woman in a certain kind of way, and a woman got to submit to a man in a certain
what's
kind of
going
way.
on, brother?
But there is no way that I'm letting a man lead me that is not able to be accountable. I'm sorry, you're human. You make mistakes. And if I can't slide up on you and say, baby, look, and like Prentice said, it's not talking at you, it's talking to you.
Right.
I had to learn that too as well. So if I can't slide up on you like, baby, look, I don't think what you did that was okay. And consider that or meditate on that and think on that a little bit. Pray about it because my man need to be Lord Jesus. I'm sorry.
hey, right.
that,
Hey,
that,
Yeah,
now
baby,
certified.
you
I'm gonna drop
let,
down
yes, you
certified. I
need
see you got
somebody
somebody
else to
want to come
lead
up,
you,
right?
baby.
let
Hold
me
on,
say
brother.
You a
this,
human.
right? Let me say this, right? I don't think no
Did you
man
say
should ever
you want to
require
come up?
a woman of submission, right? And
Nisha, you
you know,
want to come up? You gotta
we
speak
talked
on
about this
that.
before, right? A woman that has been through her journey in her life, right? May whatever
Brian,
situation have she have
go
been
ahead,
through,
come up.
right? In that journey, she should never submit that value that she have gained within herself to present herself of value to submit it to a man that may not be qualified for that submission.
Period. Period. Because I ain't.
So
In
so
Jesus' name, I'm not. I'm not
we
playing with
have
you.
to be careful of using submission language because it's not submission that a man should require. I want a woman to be my best friend. I'm not
Period. Hey, that's
putting it. I don't want a title of you my wife. I don't want a title as you being my
Oh,
girlfriend
my
because
bad. Hold
being
on.
my best friend is those qualifications.
no, not
Brian, you want to hop on? You
not
got
always. Because you can have a best friend
request.
that don't
No,
work for you. You can
no.
have a
What I'm
best
saying,
friend that don't tend to your. No, I'm
but
serious.
listen, what I'm saying. If you are my best friend and we're getting to know each other, we then later become married. You still backtrack to be my best friend,
Yes,
right?
always.
So when we get older, we 50 years in the relationship, and somebody asks, "Well, what kept y'all together?" She's my best friend. He's not going to say she's my wife. He's going to say this has been my best friend for 50 years because that's been his best friend from day one.
We went.
Yeah,
from
And
I do
accountability
believe
to
that. I do
relationship.
believe friendship is very
right.
important. And I
So,
want to say something to Nisha. I guess that she said, "What makes the man the head?" And it is the natural order of life. That is the natural order of life. You know, a
but see,
man
is
naturally leads.
is
He
is
naturally leads. It's
Um,
but
innate
that
in him.
my
but
bad. Yeah, I got you, bro.
see the problem that I have with that is that the experience of man to naturally lead has been misrepresented.
When I say that, apprentice, meaning that it's now. I'm not saying
What's
all
going on,
men
brother?
lead
How you
correctly.
doing?
I'm not saying
Hold
all
on.
men lead right. I'm
Right.
not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is that there are certain attributes that are in a man, just like there are certain attributes that are in a woman, and they're different. And really, if everybody got in their position and played their role, a woman and a man could complement each
Damn.
other
Yo,
so beautifully
yo,
if it's
Right.
in
Because
its
they
right perspective,
yo.
though.
Can I chime in?
for
You
sure.
sure can.
Hold on. Before you chime in, I want to say something to Nisha, cause I seen you had said hold on, you had said something about religion. You had said according to religion. I mean, outside of that, we can just look at the natural realm too. We can even look in the jungle. We can look
Yes.
and the animals and stuff. It's like my mother
I don't think
said,
you
and
want to
I'm
go
not
there.
saying this because that's my mother, but it's evident. In the natural world. Outside in the jungle, who do you see go hunt? You know what I'm saying? Who
The
do you see,
women,
taking the leadership, in the
the
role
women,
of a protector, and a provider?
when in the natural,
Wait,
in
I think that's not a I think that's a very skewed statement because it looks like the female lion is the provider, but none of that's possible without the male, period.
well, if you really want to go back to now, none is possible. We can trace man's back existence back to one original form, and women existence is non-existence. You can't trace it back no farther. So woman was on earth before man was even created. So if we want to go that far
Hey,
back,
Wait,
now women,
yeah,
the lion in the lion field, the women go out and hunt. Only when men come out to protect the
wait.
women is
Because
when be
said here that I don't know can be substantiated. You can prove that women were on the earth before men.
for
y'all,
sure.
let's go back to
You was born,
accountability,
right?
bro. Hey,
You
let's
was
go back to
born, right?
accountability, bro.
Yeah, I was born, but I'm saying,
Oh, this already out there, Tay.
can you prove that?
Can you not prove it?
But I didn't use it as an argument. You
But
did.
what I'm saying
Go to
is,
Hey,
so
at the
hey,
end of
so
the
the
hey,
burden
day,
of
hey,
proof is
hey, hold
on you.
on, brother. Hey, hold on, brother.
at the end of the day,
Yeah, bro.
there has to be a
Let-
host to create life, right?
Well, it depends on what story you believe.
Uh,
Hey, I'm
if we're
saying
dealing,
accountability though. Hey, man, let's go back to accountability though, man. We
but
get
this is
way
the
off
brother
But wait a
topic.
minute.
live. It,
I just
look,
want to say
look,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
this.
do
we
this,
done
my
went from
brother.
Let this
accountability
man,
to
cause this man, he
relationship.
want to say
Yeah,
something. He been
I
trying to
waited
say something. I
patiently.
want to hear.
The reason
Right.
I,
What I'm gonna do
long
is this. I'm gonna respect your opinion, and I'm gonna hear you out, right? But then
I
also, I'm gonna respect the host
my,
request.
I haven't even said my opinion.
No, I'm saying I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna respect your opinion, and I'm not gonna debate it. I'm gonna let the host do his. This is his live, and I don't want to get into a
Yeah.
bigger debate. But we can do this on another date. You know what I mean? If you would like, but
Well, first of all, I'm not in a competition, and I followed the rules of order. I sat and waited to
no,
speak.
no,
I
we
finished.
got you. Right.
Yeah, hey,
Hold
bro.
on.
So what you got to say?
Never offend me.
Okay, I'm just trying to get in on some of my practical experience, if you don't mind. I
No,
asked
for
about
sure.
I asked about marriage because it is the full commitment on both parts. And so any discussion of a relationship that doesn't have the full components is a moot discussion. Because see, what I really want, I'm committing myself to 100%. And once I commit to it 100%, I can't just get mad at my wife and say I'm done, because I've gone so far to create and invest that I have to think logically now and prudently in all of my decision making. And I just think that's a factor on how people move. You really want something, it you really commit to it 100%, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to contradict anything anybody was saying or any of that. I'm just giving you my experience as a man who's been married one time, and I didn't get married till I was 50 because I wanted to get all of the play out of me and understand the full commitments of that. And I do agree with something that was said on here
What's
though,
going on, brother?
that you know, there are gender roles. I don't care what nobody says. I didn't teach my daughters they could do whatever a man can do. I didn't teach my sons they
Yeah,
could do whatever
come
a
on.
woman can do, because you
Come
can't.
on. Come on.
And
I
that's
agree.
true. And
I
so we
agree.
really appreciate them and don't let those lines get blurred.
Mm-hmm. Because they have. And that's why things are the way that they are, because the lines have
And
gotten
I
blurred.
want to say this: if I said anything in a pedantic tone that
No, you
offended
didn't.
the brothers, I didn't here
No,
to
you
body. I appreciated y'all's convo,
no
really.
no you good, brother.
Yeah.
No, trust me.
Because
And
I want to hear.
and this is these conversations are needed and they're needed to have. You know what I mean? The open dialogue brings solution, especially for men, because
Yeah.
especially a man of your wisdom, a man of my wisdom, and a man of the younger generation of wisdom. You know what I mean? And even the queen
Well, the truth of the
wisdom.
matter
You
is,
know what I mean?
alpha males don't get anywhere without discourse. It just has to be respectful for us to keep going.
Right,
There you go.
Real men don't get anywhere without discourse.
right,
It's a whole lot of fakeness going on.
right.
Come on.
But
Mm.
And
I like my conversations and dialogue with people to be based on life experiences, your experiences, not anyone else's opinions or no one else's dialogue, no one else's father experience, based on what you in this lifetime have
I'm
experienced
glad you
is how we can move forward.
I'm glad you said that. I can't give you any other doctrine according to my belief other than the Bible. But
Yeah.
I do know for a fact that a male female relationship is never 50-50. It's not designed to be that way. It can't be. You know, my wife is the glue, the nurture. I'm the one that's gonna fix the flat tire if we're on the road. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the one that if somebody kick in the door, I gotta get up. And
Mm-hmm.
we didn't vote on that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It's innate. It's
So
nature.
here's the thing that I have come to learn, right? For me to come encounter myself first, right? I had to learn to make a decision to separate myself from what the world offered me from what I have to make a decision to offer myself, right? The
That's the
world offers me everything
powerful
under the
statement.
sun, right? The world can offer me everything under the sun. Lust to cheat on my wife. It can offer me riches to leave my wife. It can offer me everything. But if I don't make that decision within me as a healed man, a man that done the, you know what I'm saying? Long work, I am a valuable man. And as being a valuable man, I bring value to my family. I bring value to my community. I bring value to anything that I touch. I would never disrespect it because I never disrespect myself. Right?
True.
So my partner is my significant other will be my helpmate, right? But she will be my helpmate to the degree that there is no gender. There is no she's on a higher power because from beginning of time of teaching into the religious base, it's been man empowerment. I don't want that teaching in my system because I'm going to overpower my wife
Well, let
experience.
I
let
mean,
me
but
say this,
that's the way of the
let me
world. That's what
say
the
this to
world
But
you.
listen
has
to what I'm
taught.
saying.
Not
But the way of the
the way
world
of the
was
world, but it's biological.
No.
See, let me tell you why you have a male and a female end of a hose or a coupling. Because one is providing a penetration and the other one is accepting.
It's receiving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The female position, period, in nature is a submission.
And that
It's a
is
submission.
true. I'm sorry, sir. I don't want to cut you off. But you know what? From a woman's aspect and me growing and learning, I wasn't always here. But as my time of dealing with God and letting God make me over and learning and taking accountability and breaking down what my environment has showed me, and it's a lot that played a role into that though.
What's the
But
only what's the only righteous way you can have sex with a woman? Is if she submits it.
yeah, that is
That's the only righteous
but
way that
but
happens.
I want to say this to compound on what you were saying, and this is something that I discovered. And Apprentice, I do hear what you're saying too as well about the role. You don't want to misabuse the role. You
Oh,
don't want
I
to misuse it, because there is a lot of men, and I have met them, that is like submit, and they overabuse their power. But
and
God
they don't
told
know
me,
how to lead. There's a whole bunch of examples. They're
yeah, they can
unmotivated.
go with it.
They can't
But
handle the
See,
work.
I do
men
want you to
use
take this as a woman, though,
Say
is
something.
that I lived a life where I was hard. I was a hard woman. Meaning that it was like, I don't need no man. I don't this, I don't that. Boy, who you think you talking to? All this. And that wasn't right, right? But when I start becoming more feminine and learning and taking accountability for my behavior, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm at the place I want to be soft. I want to
You
submit.
don't never
I want to be
go
a
straight
damsel
black
in distress.
about he don't need no woman. You'll never see that. Never.
Yeah, hey, no, you won't. You don't, but women do. And this is the things that I had to grow to learn and to observe. And as far as what the man was saying as well, I'm sorry to say I don't know your name, but as far as he was saying as well, when I really got into my femininity, I want to be soft. I want to be, I don't mind being led. Please lead me, because I was sick of leading
Also,
anyway. I was
and
tired of
also,
being really what I wasn't. So I'm just really compounding on what he was saying about a woman. They really do receive. You bring them groceries, like they say, they'll make a meal. You bring them finances, they'll pay your bills. I mean, the list can go on and
and
on
also,
and on.
when I see my woman that has been accustomed to being a single mother, stepping outside of her role, try to pick up something heavy or something, I say, no, babe, I got that. I
Yeah.
said, that ain't, I don't for
so
that.
here's a question that I have to ask as of the men, right? Outside of what the external things that the world has to offer a woman, what internal things do you have of value to offer her?
Wait,
Culture. He supposed
wait,
to cultivate.
Wait
uniquely,
a
He
minute.
supposed to
sincerity,
Wait a
teach.
minute.
sexuality, I'm Byron. That's what I got to offer her. And she might, her pheromones might catch that or they might not. That's science. That ain't about popularity. You feel me? Just like the female lion, she don't let every male lion hit. She got to smell him. She got to know he's gonna produce by her babies. She got to know he gonna fight and maintain their safety. But that's
Mm-hmm.
not a visual thing. That's a chemical psychological thing for women. But most women don't recognize that. They think they like Tom because of his smile.
Right. The wrong things.
Yeah, or his
But
shoes,
they really
his
ain't
car.
tripping off the things
But
that
see,
matter.
here's the thing, right? I like the fact that we're having this conversation, right? But I would like for the brother to understand that when we talk, we're talking within the men experience, right? Only because you're speaking on a lot of topics that deal with women experience. That only she can respond to that. You see what I'm
No,
saying? We cannot say what what the pheromones of a woman is deflecting because only a woman knows her pheromones how it operates.
Oh yeah,
but there is
that.
a
I said,
such thing
I said, I said it's
as
random.
learning.
The man can't predict that. Man can't.
Right,
Yeah, he can't. He can't use it. It either she catches that or she doesn't.
right. So
I agree.
this is why I like the topics that when we as men we speak from men experience and we listen and engage in what the woman experience is to see how it can collaborate with
But
us versus we
So
speaking on the woman
listen,
experience like that we
we're
could
talking
say
about
a woman operates from pregnancy. We gonna tell you how your pregnancy operates. That's a woman experience. We don't have those type of
that
understandings of how it operates.
true. That's true. But What I would like to point out to you is when you got 4 baby mamas, you know what I'm saying?
But you
And
don't.
when
You still can't
wait,
speak
wait,
from a woman
wait,
experience.
wait, because all of this we're talking about is subjective, right? And so there is no formula, but yeah, experience, heuristic space can have allow one to make inferences. Like the more kids I had, I got cold with it because by the time my last one came, I had all her siblings. You feel me? And I had to understand. Now they're all different people,
Yep.
but I can peg my baby girl on things right now that her older sister did. That's 10 years older than her.
But that's learned behavior.
No,
Well, it's
no,
DNA.
some things is the cycle of life.
Yes.
It has to do with, okay,
What I'm
like
saying
for
about
me,
women experience is this.
wait a minute, Princess. Wait a minute, Princess. Can I say something? Look, because I
Yes,
kind of want to compound on that,
I got
right?
you. Come.
I can say this. Look, I can say this. No, I don't know every aspect of a man, what he goes through, how every man, but there are some aspects that I can say that is innate in every man. A man want to be honored.
Or you
He
can
want to
watch
be
a man long enough
respected.
to understand him. You can,
Huh?
or you can just observe a man long enough to
Yes.
really understand him.
Yes, and that's observing even life. That's observing. So I get what he's saying when he say because he said no, they're not the same, but there is a cycle. You know, it's a scripture in the Bible where it says there's nothing new under the sun. So there's an order of life that continues to perpetuate. Matter of fact, the scriptures even tell us we can learn from the ancient
Let
days.
me tell
That
you,
means from old times.
if
So there are certain things that do continue to cycle in life where it's like he said, nah, all my kids ain't the same, but experience taught me certain things overall about kids.
if
So,
my God came down tomorrow and he said, Byron, pick one representative to show extreme attention to detail and nurturing concern and sincerity and genuine nature to represent all of mankind. And if their person doesn't match up, all of y'all going to hell, I would pick a female. But if you said, Byron, there's going to be a battle, and you need to pick someone on this planet that is physically fit to master a battle, a physical battle, if they don't win, all y'all going to hell, I would pick a man. Now, I can't be politically correct with my life on the line. And there are distinct differences between men and women that if we just acknowledge them, we'd get along better.
Yeah, I
I
believe it.
told my wife one day, I can't think like you. I can understand how you think. I can relate to you, but I can't, off my own cognition, think like you. I can't. I ain't even built to do it if I tried. You see what I mean?
I understand, and that's why I was addressing the feminine experience versus the masculinity experience because once again, men cannot speak on a woman experience because the things that she has been through, even reproduction, we have no equipment to even talk about that experience.
Look,
We can only men
my
can
oldest
only
son
speak.
popped up on here. I'm sorry to cut you off. Ash Fran Sab. That's my oldest daughter that I just spoke of right before she popped up.
Oh,
Right.
she all kind of
Only men. That's just like women cannot speak up on a man experience. How our organs reproduce the things that it needs to produce a baby. For a
Well,
woman to speak up on how we reproduce, she's speaking outside of her experience because she don't have our equipment to produce that. You see
but
what
I
I'm
do
saying?
want to say this.
So
It,
we have to be careful in
the
that
stronger
language.
of a model that you're around in terms of a gender, the more of an understanding you have regarding that gender. You might, my name is Byron, man. Nice to meet you. My mama is a lady named Diane French. That's from New Orleans, Diane French Cole. She was voted 300 most influential New Orleanians ever by the city government. She was the original black, and she was the first black woman to be president of the NAACP in the United States. I followed a beautiful woman my whole life. I saw her achieve and her accomplishments. And I learned a lot about strong women in general. That I didn't have to be every strong woman to see those characteristics gleam when I see them in a crowd. And so, just like there in the physical world, there's only so many hair colors, eye colors, facial structures, right? It's the same in the mental world. We all have the same characteristics. We just have different thresholds. You are mean. You are nice. You are kind. You are a jerk. You are concerning. You are spiritual. You are worldly. We're all of those things. Just people have different thresholds.
And,
Emanate things.
I like the way
And
you
some
put
people
that,
do it.
because at the end of the day, we all have the potential to be all of that. So I like the way you put that.
It's the
I
truth.
really do like the way you put that, because we, at the end of the day, we have the potential to be nice, mean, kind, spiritual, honoring. You know what I'm saying? Covetous, jealous. It is there. Like you said, at the end of the day, the mental, we all can have that aspect of that. Yes, that's food for thought. I like the way you put that.
And you know
Okay,
what?
I
I'll be
like
real.
that.
I think that these kind
This is
of conversations
funny.
gonna heal us. Y'all should do this every week. I'll come watch this shit. Really.
Yeah,
I
I'm look.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
talk
this
to my
on
son.
topic.
I think we might push another one out tomorrow, because I like this. I like this. This is very good. I even
Yeah. Shout out to all the
Byron,
people
that's what
that
you said
stayed.
your
Shout out to
name
the
is.
followers that
Byron, you
followed.
got some insight too, as well.
Let me
I
tell
I
you,
I
I
like it.
I bought all my sins. I got 4 baby mamas.
Period. What you say? I bought it. You better come
I
on.
bought all my sins.
I like
Paid for it
that.
the hard way. I'm not only
I
trying to
like
be
that.
smart. Anything I say to any young man that could uplift them, I did it the hard way, the
Yes,
way my
me
grandmother
too.
not to
Come
do
on.
it.
Come
So
on.
I know
I
what
like
I know.
that. I like that. I bought all my sins too, Byron, because I did it the hard way. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
It
paid
came with a
child
price.
support for 30 years.
well, me and brother Brian, we have crossed paths before. I don't know if he remembered me. We have crossed paths in a lot of the conversations we have had with you in New Orleans. Um, um,
Where you at?
I'm in California.
Okay.
I'm in California. I'm the one that spoke
Yeah,
with you
Fremont
before
Harbor, man.
about.
Y'all tap that link in his bio.
Wait, where?
I'm the one that talked to you before about being incarcerated when you was dealing with a lot of the project issues that you was having all around in New Orleans about people cutting stuff on the side of the grass and on the side of the concrete, and you going back and forth with the engagement of the poverty and the crimes out there. I've been engaging with you for a minute. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Um, I am an incarcerated youth advocate and mentor. I've been in prison 33 years on a life without the possibility of parole innocently. You see what I'm saying? So
Much,
I recognize your knowledge and experience, right? And I also
Anytime,
live off
brother.
my experience. You know what I mean? So when we speak, like I said, we speak from experience, and we speak from where I speak from self-awareness. And my self-awareness, right? I had to learn to how to balance myself. And balancing myself, I understand from the crown of my head to my waistline is breathing life into someone or into myself. I never speak below my waistline because of destruction or lust.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm ordained with the woman I'm with to procreate,
Like,
that's the only time I speak below my waistline, right? For
mm-hmm.
men I come in contact with, and to the youth I come in contact with, I give them this information. There's three things that I deal with them, right? I teach them one, if you want to learn how about prison real quick, I'm going to put you in your bathroom and tell you in the darkness, and I'm going to put the one thing you love the most in front of you outside that door, and then scream for help, and you cannot reach them. Do you want that circulation in your life and in your mind? Because you could never get to them and never help them, right? So stay out of prison. The other thing that I teach men is that if you are a man that says you stand on your accountability and experience, then let's test that. Because if you say that you operate from your experience, go back to the early times of your trauma and bring you back to you without the not one scratch or trauma experience, because you now possess the experience of having that knowledge to get you
If,
back to you.
if you
If you
cannot
cannot do that,
crying about it makes you suck, makes you fucked up.
right, and if you cannot do that, then you have work to be done within you. I'm gonna take you internal with that same knowledge, that knowledge of your experience and accountability. Close your eyes and everything. How long can you stand in your darkness?
Yeah.
Because everything that you have been through and visualize it is going to come to surface in your mindset as if you're dreaming it. You're going to open your eyes because once again, that trauma that you've been through as a man, you have yet to deal with. So a man cannot sit here and literally tell me that you are a complete man without no inner work. And how is you then you saying
Period.
you're a valuable representation of a man to have a woman submit themselves to you with this trauma still existing in you?
Exactly. I'm with you. Look,
Could
so
could I say something? Cause y'all got these people in the comment. They want
Yeah,
to
they
talk to
spinning
y'all.
bars. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking
they
about
dropping
DG
hints.
is cutting
Yeah.
up, but he putting some stuff. They want to talk to
I'm
him.
Okay.
catching the now.
But
He and
DG,
I
ask
do
this
the same
question.
thing. I mentor to you, and I work for a living. I do post conviction. I get people out of prison that's wrongfully convicted.
We need to tap in.
Right. Seem
He
like
and I got a
home.
lot of fucking things in common. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
So could I ask y'all gentlemen a question?
Yes.
As DC asked DG, the Gifted Company LLC. They said, because I want to know the answer, what y'all think it is. Hold on.
Okay.
Y'all showing up and showing out. So, could I ask y'all a question? Do y'all think DG asks, wait, it ain't me, DG asks, true submission happens when both individuals uplift and respect each other's strength, creating a dynamic where each thrives in their respective roles within the relationship? What do y'all believe that? That true submission happens when both individuals uplift and respect each other's basically their roles.
Um,
I mean, it goes
I'm
back
gonna
to
let
being
you answer first.
compatible and equally yoked. So yeah,
My
I
my
agree.
thing is, why do a person have to submit himself? Period. Because if we're operating in a level of mutual respect, submission don't even apply.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
submit,
Yes, it does.
Let,
Wait a minute. Wait,
let
wait,
me
wait.
cooperation can't happen without
let me
submission.
Everything in life.
let me say
Wait,
why I
wait, wait,
say
wait,
let me
wait.
say why I say that, because to submit
Cooperation.
yourself, meaning when you're submitting something, that means to give away. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Selfless.
So you're telling me that everything you've been through in life, you're going to submit that to a man that may not be qualified,
No,
or you're going to
preach.
submit that to a
No,
woman that's not going to be qualified.
no.
But see, with,
That's wisdom. Now you going in the realm of wisdom. No, I don't believe nobody should submit to something that is
so
not
why do we use the
qualified.
term submission?
But
Can I tell you what I
because
think?
that submit do mean to give away. Yes, you know what? If I got a husband right now, because right now I'm a single woman, right? But I consider the fact and understanding, no, if I got a man, first of all, it's a whole lot I'm finna have to submit, because you can't even no longer just live like you a single person. You can't no longer just do what you want to do how you want to and not give thought to your partner or your mate or another. So yes, and then too, submission is a part of life. Everything submit to something.
Can I address it?
Go ahead, come
No,
on.
but what? Go ahead.
I think that what we're discussing right here is how far we are from our naturality. So, you know, I, please bear with me. Let me walk y'all through this. Everybody reads Genesis and get to the part where Eve ate the apple. You get to the part where the blame comes. You split the room, right? But I blame Adam. And I'm going to tell you why I blame Adam. Because what I have found and seen in my life specifically, and in the elders that I watched, a woman can't help but to submit to that man that's doing the fundamental things required to receive that. And there's exceptions to every sociological rule. I'm talking about natural, normal things. Okay.
Hey, real quick. Hey, the gifting. Hold on, let me read your thing. The gifting company LLC. You want to hop on? Cause you saying a lot in the
Look,
conversation,
I'm
bro.
I'm
Sound like you
I'm
got a
gonna
lot to
calm
say,
down.
bro.
Look, I'm
Hop
gonna
on.
step down and let him. I'm gonna step down and let him come up.
A minute though.
Wait, look, before you step down, I followed you. Follow me back.
He heard you. I know he did hear you. He
I
heard you.
followed all of y'all, man. This is a great conversation y'all having.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But you know what, Byron? I I believe that submission does go both ways. I do, and I feel like that's a big discrepancy. It ain't even no feel. It is a big discrepancy in
So
life
listen,
between man and women, and it has
man,
caused such.
man, husband means rock, provider. You know why I start with
Okay, wait
rock?
a minute, Byron. You ain't let me finish though. But the thing is that what is a husband without a wife? What is a wife without a husband? Like it goes both ways. And submission goes both ways. But it's two different versions of submitting. A husband has to submit to a woman in the way she needs submission. And a woman has to submit to a man in the way he needs submission. And I know, it ain't even no belief. I know on today, when it comes to that word in marriage, it just turns into an ugly situation
But
because it's seen as no, women submit unto men, but really in all reality, you all must submit to each other.
well, let me.
It's
The people,
do you get what I'm saying
yeah,
though?
people are gonna have words with your terminology. Let me tell you basically what you're saying. That's why I started off with man means rock. You know why? Because I ain't had a relationship in my life where it was 50-50. I haven't had a beautiful woman that engaged with me for any length of time that did not feel at some point that she wanted to have privy to all of my resources and all of my capabilities. And so, I was taught by a papa that said, boy, you got to pay a mortgage no matter where you stay. So all that your wife need to have half the mortgage and all that, that's ridiculous. That's how we was raised. I'm from New Orleans. All right. But what I'm really getting at is it ain't a submission on the man's part. It's me being a real man. And she can't do what I do physically. And she don't have the stamina I have. So when we doing joint projects and she want to go take a bath, I have to say, okay, babe, I got this. I love you. And, when she right now in bed, wore out from running with me all day, I have to understand that too. And that's not a submission. That's a cooperation because of all the beautiful things she adds to my
Okay,
life.
well, it's a cooperation for a woman too, as well, unto the man.
Hello.
Like,
Well, the
no,
Bible,
a woman has needs. A woman has
the
needs
Bible
too. It's
says,
things you have to submit to her. You have to submit to uh the nurturing part of her that she need, and men are not normally that. Men are not normally nurturing. But a man has to become that because that's something that a woman needs. The emotional part of her, you have to submit to that too as well. A man is not an emotional
yeah,
creature, but a woman is.
but we,
No, but
look,
do you get?
I agree.
But I'm saying,
Also, in my submission to that, we got to act like we grown out here too now. You know what I'm saying?
What's up with it? Company. What's your thing
okay,
called,
now
bro?
what you mean by that,
It's
Byron?
gifted company.
Go ahead, bro. You can answer.
Wait, which asked me?
No, I was asking, what do you mean by that? With your response, I didn't quite get it.
What exactly did you remember? What I?
A man can be nurturing, whoever Mama Wolf is. I don't know. I didn't even remember what you
So
said, but we on that
a man's upbringing depict a lot. it. You have a lot of nurturing men in New Orleans that have some female characteristics because we was all raised by our mamas and our grandmas. And so we speak female fluently, right? Because it's raised by that environment, understood under a subordinate level what those pressures are, a true subordinate level. So we understand, those that pay attention, you know.
Definitely. I didn't say that they don't understand. I said that's not really y'all language. That's not your one. I didn't say that you don't understand how to be nurturing or you don't understand how to be those things, but that's not your first language.
Nah, but you know
You
what taught
understand what
me
I'm
to really
saying?
be nurturing? You know what taught me to be nurturing? My first baby girl. Is something that somebody you can't divorce, you can't even whoop them. They little, you can't fuss. They can't understand you, and so you
So
have to
your mother
really.
didn't teach you nurturing. You can't whoop your mama neither.
No. I mean, yeah, but you could fuss with your mama, and you could disobey her. You could disobey her, and you could run away from home with a
Oh my
baby
God.
child. You can't do those. There's a real distinction.
Oh my God. I'm just saying, look, in the relationship, and this is something I know to be true. The Bible might not say it, but it's a lot that the Bible don't say. Really, that tests and tries the heart of men. At the end of the day, and that's man and woman. At the end of the day, man and woman must submit to each other needs. When it gets done, you can't tell me that we have serve a
Well,
God
look,
or that I serve a
the
God.
only,
Wait a minute,
the only reason
Byron.
I
That I serve
with
a
that
God
is when I
that
asked
says,
you to marry me,
huh?
telling you I'm gonna fulfill your needs. That's part of the deal, isn't it? I
Yeah, but
asked
ain't
you to marry
submitting
me.
to a man part of
If
the deal?
I
Right.
asked you
Submitting
to
to a
marry me,
man is
that's
part
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
deal.
Please do. I
Gifted hands, come on, come up in the building. This is
it's
good.
Okay, so there's a commentary earlier, right? Because they don't give you a lot of room to write a whole bunch, so trying to kind of even it out. It just so happened it was just the very, very last part of everything that I wrote is what got read. Like earlier, I was trying to explain like the misconception of what people think when they hear the word dominance, right? They instantly
Mm-hmm,
go to this submissive, get on your knees and listen to me type
mm-hmm.
thought, right? But for me, like dominance for a man isn't about control or how do you say that word?
Submission
Superiority. You know what I mean?
or superiority. Okay.
It's for a man. It's like providing stability, leadership. Um, it's something that builds what we call confidence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in a man's purpose lies confidence, right? So when the woman allows a man to be a man and she roots him on and she supports him, she's building that confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
I mean, I've been with my wife for 16 years, just celebrated 10 years of marriage, 2 kids, and still going strong. And I've known her since I was 3, and she was my best friend for like 20 years first. So,
clarify
kind
something
of,
for me. When you
uh,
let him
clarify,
talk.
when you say when a woman allows you to be a man, that's where you lost me.
I didn't say it in the law. I said when a woman treats you like a man,
No, you did. You said the first time you said allows you to
well,
be a man.
then excuse well,
Okay.
I don't mean like you need permission slips to be a man. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
even
there,
point
there are
that she
women out there that
stop you at
try to
all.
make you not be a man.
She can't stop you at all from being a man. Is what I was trying to point.
But that's all about supporting each other, allowing each other to be the roles that you're supposed to be.
And
Like,
that is
uh,
true.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's a
Because
reason
there
why me
are
and my wife are
relationships
still.
where, yes, you strong because y'all are allowing each other to be in the roles you supposed to be, and it's a level of submission there in a good way.
right.
And you know what? People have put such a nasty taste
And
on the
that's
word
right there
submission.
what I was trying to say earlier was people put like a really bad spin
Yeah,
on
Yes,
what it
yeah.
means to be submission, or
Y'all keep
it's, you know,
that word allow though.
Ooh.
And I don't like that word allow.
Well,
Because one time,
what I'm saying is allow, meaning is when you let people play their roles. No, can't nobody not allow you, Byron, to be a man. But
but they
I
just
feel what
try to
he's
make it
saying
difficult.
is
wait, what he said?
when
I didn't
each
hear you,
other
brother.
respects each other roles.
I didn't hear what the brothers dude at the bottom said. What he said?
But people sure a lot of times try to make it difficult for you to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen.
So what I mean is when they don't bring obstacles to the table and just let it be what it's supposed to be,
Yes.
and understand that it's about love, support, and building together, because a lot of people be jumping into relationships based off sexual preference. Oh man, she hot. Oh man, he cute. And then you wonder why 6 months down the road you're like, I fucking hate you. You don't even know each other. You know what I mean? Like me and my wife, we were best friends for a good 20 years. First, she used to be my wingman. Like spring break when we were kids, she used to be like, "Which girl here you think is hot?" You know what I mean? I'll help you get her. You know? Then I found out later she was the one that was sabotaging all my relationships, because deep down she really loved me. You know what I mean? Like,
She said
but
the whole time.
you know, so at the end of the day, like, my wife understands that confidence plays a big role for a man. When you take away that little bit of what makes a man him, you're not
Yes.
going to get 100% of that
But
man anymore.
see,
And
listen.
that goes
That's
to
what.
respect and honor. A man is about respect and honor.
But wait,
That is the
let me
confidence
tell you.
there.
So the man's confidence has got to be intact long before that point.
That's
That,
true.
And
that's
but
a
That's
fact.
hold on,
true. That's true.
wait, because I think I just see where the slight disconnect is. I don't know how old other people talking is, but
You
I'm.
want me to use the word encouraging instead of
Well,
the other
wait.
word?
You let me say my premise of what my statement is. What I'm really saying is that I had failed relationship after failed relationship the first 45 years of my life until I learned that the only way that what you say possible is if I give away my power.
No.
When I learned that, I was able to maintain a match, right? And so there's never no instance where even an obstacle could be thrown up that debilitates my ability to be a man.
Hey,
And so
but that doesn't that go with what you just said earlier? Doesn't that go with what you just said a second ago? Though a man should already have the ability to have that confidence in himself, right? So
well,
when
that happens while you're a boy. You get that confidence.
but like you said, some men don't get to grow up with other men. Some men grow up on that other spectrum side of
Yeah,
things, right, where they become a
I
little softer.
in my house, but I still had to go outside and live.
Well, and I get that, but at the end of the day, you kind of gotta remember everybody is on their own journey, their own path. They grew up in different places, different states, different cities, different countries, different people, different parents, different households, different
Yeah,
morals,
and that
different.
plays a role.
That
And
plays
now
so
I'm different.
much of
And I'm
a
different.
different role.
And I think that ambiguity is created so that we can have these gray areas.
Well,
People are not as different.
that's called the confusion. That's where people build confusion to try to knock
Yeah.
things away from being what it should be.
I was
You know, and
on I was on a ship in Baltimore removing raw aluminum, right? Shipped from Russia. And I looked in the hole and saw a Russian dude with gold teeth, slugged out, and was listening to rap music and had a bottle of whiskey. And I swear, as blonde as his hair was and as pale as he was, I saw the same character in my neighborhood the same day, a black dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when people are not that different, they hide in that ambiguity for acceptance.
but that's where people
So,
like us, it becomes strenuous for us to reteach that or let people know, because some people are so far into that they don't even know
True,
that other part exists for them.
true.
And that's
so
why I
Byron,
always
could I
say,
ask?
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go
My
ahead.
fault.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
mean to
all right.
interrupt.
It's all right.
I love.
I
Love this guy.
but Byron, I want to ask you a question. And to kind of go back to the confidence. So you don't think a woman gives a man confidence? I didn't
No,
say
no,
build it, like give him his
nah,
initial, but you don't
nah.
think a woman gives confidence or that a
A
man can give confidence to a
woman,
woman?
a woman provides a peace that allows a man to stay in his confidence.
Wait. You just said the word
No,
allow.
no,
Well,
Byron,
wait, you
no,
know why? Let me tell you
no,
why.
Byron.
Because it's up to you to decide if she ain't no
Can you?
good and
So
move on.
do you think your mom? Do
She
you think your mom can give you
she can't.
confidence? Can your dad give you confidence? Can your kids get confidence? Can come from
Wait,
anywhere. I get
wait,
what you're saying,
wait.
Byron, when you say
I didn't say it
I
couldn't.
don't want to be. I
I
don't
didn't
want
say
to
it
get
couldn't.
with a man that don't have his
I
own
said a man's
confidence.
already supposed to have his confidence. I didn't say
No, listen, you
Well,
ain't
hold on,
letting me
but
finish. You ain't letting me finish. Listen, I don't want to be with the man that don't have no confidence. So I get what you're saying. A person just as well as a woman. A woman should come with her own confidence, her own securities, and a man should come with his own confidence and his own securities. But to say that your mate can't give you confidence, I don't agree with that.
well,
That don't
wait,
that
you
people give
wait.
confidence all the time.
Listen,
I didn't say
listen.
that
I
your
didn't say
confidence is built on
I
him.
didn't say that a person's mate could not build them up and give them confidence. I said me.
You kind of did, bro. You kind
No,
of
no,
did because
I was
you
speaking
couldn't
for
ask the
myself.
question.
I was speaking for
I got you.
myself. My mate
Like
can't
he
give.
said,
I don't need
like he
my
said
mate
earlier,
to give me what I
he's
already.
talking about his experiences and stuff. I
I
got
don't
you.
need my mate to give me what I already have. And let me tell you something. If I
God.
didn't already have that, she wouldn't have never married me. Trust me.
No,
No,
that's not true. That's not true. People marry people that ain't got
I'm
confidence all the time.
talking about me,
That's
my wife. I'm telling you, my wife would
okay.
not have married me if I didn't come ready made.
We asked for that break when we went to that hospital. That we asked for that break when I was there.
What's up
I gotta
with
see
the
that.
link? East Event 2024. Man, y'all spending some bars in the comments. What's up with the loyalty first? How y'all doing? Yeah, I think everybody that's tapping in right now, man, if y'all liking this conversation, man, go ahead and press that follow button, man. It's
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
if I could, can I redefine my words to make it a little bit different? I'm a, I'm gonna change it to this, right? So confidence for a man is already something that's deeply integrated already in his DNA and his purpose, right? A man's already equipped with his already built-in confidence. What I was trying to explain is when it comes to your partner, right? When it comes to your partner, and she supports your decisions, right? Instead of always being argumentative or always choosing to rebuttal or say but when she supports, okay, like when you get to be you, that's support, right? So
Yeah.
no matter which way you look at it, if you're in a relationship, you're gonna have to deal with the idea of somebody being submissive. Submissive still means allowing you to be you, right? Because if it was any different, then you would just be solo dolo, no
Yeah.
relationship.
And I
And
believe
it takes two, but the man's
submissive
role is different.
allows when I speak of submissive, because I want to clarify this, because you kind of made me clarify it when you just said what you said. Submissive to me in a relationship, when it comes to a man and a woman, is letting them be them and playing their role. Because sometimes men
What do you mean by
and
let them?
I'm not bashing. Wait a minute,
I
Byron.
don't get it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
You
man.
didn't
men,
like
I'm
Hold on,
they
not
was
hold on, let
supposed
it
to
say,
bashing
let
get
it
men.
say.
married. What do you mean let them?
Wait a minute, Byron. Wait a minute, because look, I want to get this out because I like the way he just said that and letting you be you. When I speak of submission, a woman has a role and a man has a role, and
Shout
they
out to
make one.
Mr.
So
16. I
when a
appreciate you,
man
man.
submits to a woman, it's to say that, look, in this area, that's not your area. Allow me to be the woman and submit to me being the woman and do my role, just as well as when it comes to the man in his area. Allow, like you said earlier, Byron, it's ways that men and women are hardwired. Basically, you ain't say hardwired, that I can't be a man and you can't be a woman. So it's like, it's things that you can't do that I can do, and it's things that I can do that you can't do. And why don't we just submit to each other and allow
Hey,
each
hey,
other to
the word
play that
I
role
allow,
and let
allow,
I
us be
hey,
think
the
that
whole?
allow,
I
hey,
think
for
that's
me,
where our
allow is just the
disconnect
term
is right
acceptance.
there. That's
Allowing
where our
for,
disconnect,
well,
because
hold on, real quick, Byron.
I'm gonna
Allowing just means acceptance, accepting
I'm gonna examine
that
you
that person
before
has
I
that
marry.
role.
I ain't gonna try to change nothing after. That's the whole part of the play. Like,
But
I'm,
who said anything about changing anything? It's just if
Yeah,
you're in a
don't go
relationship
changing.
and you are
Don't
who you
change
are
it.
already, it's that woman who's allowing you to still be what you were before you
my
got into
point
the
is,
relationship.
my point is, if I didn't like who she was already, I wouldn't have got to where we at now.
Right,
That's what I'm.
you amongst the whole rest of the globe is a whole different story, man. You gonna do it how you gonna do it, but we talk about the majority of every other relationship
That's
on this planet.
why I'm still talking. That's why I said I'm 53. I'm trying to let y'all know it's a marathon. It ain't a race. The judgment of the discernment of this is not a race. It's a marathon. I thought the same thing. Some of the things that y'all are saying right now, just 15 years ago, real life.
You got to admit though, for me to been with my wife still 16 years, married for 10, 2 kids, and still going strong. I got some knowledge in this relationship game.
Yeah, but what if I
Yeah,
tell you?
yeah,
But what
yeah,
if I
you
tell
do.
you, sir, that your relationship doesn't have the inherent struggles of a black relationship, of
Ooh,
race,
No,
of second
no,
class citizenship?
no,
Those are
no.
all real stresses on black relationships that you
Well,
don't even have to deal
hold on. But for you to sit there and automatically assume that I don't understand, but when you find out that my
with. I didn't
mom's
say
black,
understand. I said live it, experience it. That's what you didn't have to do.
you
That's what you didn't have to do. I didn't
took
say you can't
it there,
empathize.
my guy.
I didn't say you can't empathize. Wait, first of all, let me say this. I'm not just on here with opinions. I'm retired from the school district. I'm a licensed counselor. I'm coming with empirical data and heuristics base regarding this field that we're discussing. I didn't just
why
have
you
something I
leaving?
want to say. I want to get on here and look smart. And listen, I wasn't being rude to dude.
Yeah,
That
why
was a
you leaving?
that was a fact. His relationship didn't have to endure what mine have had to endure from America. They didn't have the stresses and the tolls of being black. And so, he or the financial, inherent financial,
Damn, why you leave? Oh no, bro, why you? Damn.
well, I did what? I told the truth. I didn't disrespect nobody.
Hey, to get the company LLC, you want to hop back on, brother?
Yeah. Look, I didn't disrespect him. I told the truth. He's talking like, look, when I was in my psych classes, and when my undergrad, everything was based on Freud. Do you know I got kicked out of class? I got kicked out of the whole psychology department one year, had to appeal to get back in. Because I kept saying, no, I never wanted to fuck my mama. And no, this dude is tripping about a lot of things he's saying that I don't think they talk to African Americans about these things. And they said I was crazy. And I paid all that money for those credit hours for them after I left college to tell us that Freud no longer is the standard, which I was saying the whole time. I said, man, my great grandmama was telling us shit that was more sound and real than what your expert is telling me. Why would I, if this is all theory, why would I fall under your European logic when
Yeah,
it,
hey, somebody come. They say Big still got his own testimony though. Yeah, and I feel like Prentice said when he was on here about how he saying how since he wasn't married he couldn't speak on that experiences. He got his own testimony from his own experiences. Not to discredit.
oh,
You know,
I'm not discrediting him. I just wait. Look, why every time a black man makes a real valid point that disqualifies a white person to a certain extent from a conversation, why is that? What did I do wrong? I'm
Nah,
asking.
it's just, hold on, hey, hold on.
I'm just asking, what did I do wrong? I
Hey,
made a very key point.
company, what
He
I
was
make
talking
that?
about differentiation, so I had to make the differentiation that his relationship is way different than the ones we experience as black people in America because of the social pressures, because of the environment, because of the abject poverty, because of the second class citizenry, because of the disparity in arrests, sentences, convictions, all that. That's all I was saying. Stresses he don't know nothing about. Where he married his third grade sweetheart. I applaud that. The average person in my neighborhood move around. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that type of thing from a black neighborhood traditionally. We used to have that.
Man, this man, we went from accountability to relationships to submissive. Hey, but I'm I want to tap in though um on submission. Like my mama was saying, and, like the Get the company LLC was saying, like how the word submission, how it dominates, how the origin of it. It's like it's like we took the origin, the 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 right definition from it. You know, from dominance and submission. I feel like I feel like when we talk about submitting to your partner, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, yeah, as a male, like, yeah, like we supposed to, take on, protecting and providing, but and then, going back to confidence, you give your partner confidence and stuff like that. I agree with what Sarienta said when she was saying how, you know, like, come into a relationship with your own, with confidence, with yourself. But, I believe that, receiving affirmations, from your spouse can definitely, enhance the confidence that's
So,
within you.
but see, look, I'm a spiritual person. And so a woman is supposed to wait for her Boaz. Nigga ain't coming. If you ain't built, you need to go sit in the incubator. That's what's destroying these women out here, man. Men that ain't built. Trust me. That's what makes a woman bitter. She get exposed to a man that ain't built. And I did that too. A lot of us have done that. I'm just being real about it. That's
What
the
you
real truth.
mean, Bill?
You
What you
know
mean
what?
when you
I
say
want
that?
to say
You shouldn't
something
approach a wife
because
if you not a full man.
I
I
mean,
want to.
so
I want to. Okay, can I
yeah.
say
Go
something?
ahead. I'm
Because these
sorry.
people in this comments,
Yeah,
they are tripping.
they
And they talking to this man.
exactly,
And
bro.
just because this man is not black. And see, that's the
No,
thing, too. Like I said
nobody
to
wait,
Bill,
no wait,
wait
see,
a minute.
Nah,
I'm not,
nobody
wait a
did
minute,
nah, she
Byron.
not
I'm
talking
not
about
not
you. She
because
talking.
he
talking about the
wasn't
people in the
black.
Byron,
comments. She
Byron,
talking
I'm
about the
talking
people in the
about the
comments.
people in the comments.
Yeah, she not
They
talking
are
about you.
just tripping with this man. And my thing is that I'm a person of principles. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there is some challenges within the black community, the white community, a whole lot of community. But principles are principles when it comes to things. These people don't know this man to be saying
Right.
what this
Yeah.
man know and what this man don't
Yeah,
know.
invalidating
You know
his
that, like, that's
experiences.
not
Look,
cool.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you,
I'm what they
Byron. I'm not
call
talking about
I'm
you.
what they call Creole in New Orleans. I knew my white grandpa. My mama come from mixed blood. You feel me? I'm not no racist.
Nah,
I just
we
made,
not talking about you though.
No,
We
we're
talking
not
about the
talking
people in
about
the
you, Byron. I'm
comments.
talking
okay.
about the people in these
All
Yeah.
right.
comments. They are just talking reckless to this man and calling this man a European, y'all don't know this man.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
can't
some things in
invalidate.
life
Yeah.
there are principle, meaning that it don't solidify a color. It solidifies facts and truths. So
But can I tell you
y'all like
something?
it's not cool. That man should be able to
Listen,
come up here
I
Yeah,
support
not
and
for real.
what
speak
you're
what
saying.
he speak.
I support
Yeah,
Huh?
he
what
really
you're saying
was. People want him to
100%. But
come
I
back
want to tell
too.
you something. He brought that on himself by dropping. Nobody. I didn't insult him.
No, we not talking about
I
you,
know.
Byron.
Listen. I know. So what I'm trying
Oh,
to tell
okay.
you is, he dropped. Why did he drop? When the conversation got challenging, why did he drop?
Yeah. I mean, you know why? Probably because
He wasn't
Byron, you
being.
kind of wasn't listening a little
Yeah,
bit, and you
yeah, you
was
keep
kind of
talking
over
over.
talking
Yeah,
him. So it's like he left because it was kind of turning into like a debate. It wasn't like we were listening
yeah,
to
you got
each other.
yeah,
So
talk
I
to
think
listen.
that's
For
why he
clarity
dropped
on
off.
what does he mean by allow. A woman can't take away my masculinity. A woman can
No,
stop me from being a man. Never. I
no,
can
that's
give away,
true. That is so true.
but
Real
she
talk.
can't stop me.
No,
So I need.
Oh, that is so true, Byron. That is so true. I get what you're saying. You're saying that when you saying that a woman don't take your confidence and neither did she build your confidence. I get that. I get that what you're saying.
And if
We're
I
saying
do get weakened by the woman, even more, if I do get weakened by the woman, it's something I allowed.
no, you know what? That is true. That is true. That is so. That's why I said getting into this conversation from the jump. I said this a while ago because this is a big reason why communication breakdown happen
Yeah,
because people start jumping all
yeah,
over the
he
place,
not
and
listening. Yeah,
sometimes you have to dissect things and stay on topic because this happens in relationships. This happens in sisterships. This happen all the time, and it's like at the end of a conversation there's really no resolution, no understanding, no nothing.
Okay,
It's just like
well, let me tell you this. Watch this.
hey, to
I,
get the company, you want
wait,
to
let
drop
me
that
take her
name, Byron?
words while they fresh off her mouth. Myself and the other black man that was on here before him,
mm-hmm,
we disagreed for the first 10 minutes.
mm-hmm.
Dapped it up, got reasoning, and didn't have no issues.
No. I'm no. What I
Why
was
you keep
saying
bringing that
was,
up?
is that the conversation kind of got all over the place. I get
No,
what you're
all of
saying about.
it's relevant.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Right.
I get what you're saying about the allowing. I totally get what you're saying about don't no woman allow you to be no man or build your confidence nor take your confidence away. I was saying it in the perspective that a woman can build a man's confidence. A man can
Yeah,
build a woman's confidence. Like
yes.
that
Your,
is a
your
true
partner is supposed
statement.
to uplift you, but you're
Right.
supposed to be a finished product before you seek a marriage partner. Is all I was saying.
You say,
I
I think
never
I get what
got married till I was 50. Real
you.
talk. Because I wasn't ready for that. And I was wild. And I wasn't about to have people hating me for trying to lead them on false tales. And I get that from
No,
my
you don't
mind.
never supposed to do that, Byron. You don't never supposed to know. You don't supposed to lead no one on false tales.
But
But the
75%
gentleman,
of people do.
yeah,
75% of
they
marriages.
do. They
Oh,
and that is so
he spit
true.
the bars
But
in
the
comments.
gentleman said that he left because you was telling him how his relationship didn't struggle like yours because you're assuming I'm Caucasian.
No.
And
I was telling
you did say
I
that.
ain't assume he was Caucasian. I'm from New Orleans, Passe Blanc, whatever you want to call it. You don't live being assumed as a black man every day. I know better. And you couldn't even say that in real life. That's why you had to type that.
Okay. Somebody said I think he was just saying we are different relationship wise, black are different from
Yeah,
and
that's
that
all I was
but
saying.
Queen
That we
Princess
have
you
Blood
know
extra
Club.
what?
pressures that they don't
He not
have.
even watching a
No,
while.
but
Like you,
that should not that you true. That's true on that. If we're talking about a
So
nation
then
of
why did
people,
that
yes,
statement
wait
fuck up
a
the
minute, Byron.
conversation?
right,
See,
bro? Let her talk.
you
But
won't let me finish.
if it's
Right.
true,
See, you
if
won't
it's
let me
true, why did it
finish.
fuck up the conversation then?
No, because that had nothing to do
Sure, it
with
did.
what
He
you
was
all were
speaking
talking
as an
about.
authority on relationships. He the only white person on here with 3 other
Can
black
you just
people.
call him Caucasian again?
Whatever he is,
Hey, let her talk though, man. Let it,
Wait a
man.
minute,
You gotta let it. You
Byron.
gotta
Hey,
listen though, bro. It's
it's
misunderstanding
not
going on.
funny,
is he black?
but
Come on.
who?
What kind of games we
I
playing?
mean,
Is he
no,
black?
no, no. Wait a minute. But what y'all were talking about had
Right?
nothing to do
It
with
don't
Sure it
that.
mean.
did. Because he was making a differentiation. Go back and watch the video. I'm cold, yeah. He
Okay,
was
I
making a
am.
differentiation on relationships. And I said, well, since you're making differentiations, let me tell you
What did he
why your
say?
perspective lacks what mine has in this conversation.
So you
No,
should
the
go back
only
to.
thing the man said was that no, cause you Byron, you did start it, cause you start talking about that he didn't know, and he was that you had experience in this, cause you were married, and then he said, well, I've had. I think that I am liable to speak on this because he's been married for 16 years in a successful relationship with kids. And then Byron, for real, you went left
That
and starts talking about how black and white
he
relationships are different.
because from the beginning, I was separating that. Ain't no black man running around talking about she won't allow me to be no man. You ain't gonna hear no nigga say no shit like that.
And wait a minute, Spy Boy.
You ain't gonna hear
I
no black
never
man say
said
that.
that
So that's why
he was
I had to
black.
say what I said, baby. Really.
No, no,
Oh,
I
hell,
get you,
man.
Byron. Spy Boy, I never said that he was black. I never said that at all. See, this is a breakdown in a lot of why
No,
we be falling apart at
my
this
boy
point.
is back where I'm at. You keep saying he ain't white. All that don't matter to me. He
I didn't
black.
say that.
He ain't black. That's my point. Can you refute that?
Okay,
And
but what does
don't
him
get
being
he don't
black
get
have to
he don't
do?
get
Wait
assumed
a minute,
black.
Byron.
I mean he
Hey, bro,
Wait
don't
a
I'm
minute.
finna
he,
drive you, bro. You gotta
So
listen, bro. You keep talking over
wait,
people. You
listen.
gotta
No, don't
listen.
drop him because Tayshawn, don't drop
you can
cause wait a
drop me,
minute.
dog. I ain't
What
tripping.
do
Go
no?
back to
I
your
know, but no,
5 I ain't tripping.
Byron, Byron. But what does black have to do with anything? Oh Lord, this just went all the way.
Yeah, that's a lot going on, man.
Yeah, this
Man.
again. We was talking about accountability, but this went all the
But
way.
shout out to the Get the Company LLC though for stepping on your team though, keeping your bootstrap. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanna come back
Hey,
in,
somebody
bro, you can.
talk about the five of y'all live. Hey, this was really good, but look, some Byron said, I'm not upset. No, Byron, don't be upset. And I hope to see you again. But I just feel like this went left because people start adding things in there that had nothing to do with nothing. And this is a topic too. I will say this. This is a topic that always gets heated. It really does. And it ain't even got nothing to do with just black and white.
Yeah.
It got something to do with man and woman. And I've discovered that if you put a group of men and women in a room and you ask them, okay, what do you feel like the burials are in relationship? I saw it happen. I've witnessed it happen.
Right.
The first thing that happens is men turn on women and women turn on men. It never stays on topic of just talking about the burial. It's like a pointing finger game. It's like, oh, well, women is always doing this and men is always doing this. And it's not to say that, okay, that could be true instead of just turning it to a conversation where it's like, I feel one of the burials is a lack of communication
Mm-hmm.
between a man and a woman, which is a different dialect than start playing the blame game and women is this and men is this. So this is very intriguing, and we are most definitely somebody gonna talk about it's fun.
Man, hey,
Hey, they lit in the building. Hey, for
but
real.
shout out to Brian though, bro. For cause when he got in, bro, he was bringing traffic in, bro. I thank you for the traffic.
Hey,
You
you
know, we
know
got
what? I straight respected everybody
yeah.
on here. I truly hope to see everybody on here again. when the next topic pop off. But the thing about it is that we really do have to respect each
Yeah,
other,
we do.
and
Yeah.
we really do have to be conscious of how we talk to people,
Yeah.
because sometimes intentionally we might not mean it, but things can come off in the wrong
Right.
way,
Yeah.
you know. So
And then
this was good.
we gotta learn how to speak
I
to
enjoyed this.
understand.
Hey, Byron was lit. Gifted hands. I want to see you in the building still again. And next time, guess what? Don't come down. But I get you. We're not gonna argue. But don't come down, because I believe he got a lot to add to
Yeah.
and to
Really,
say
it's
as
a lot of
well.
wisdom that could be
Yes,
shared and
it
learned from.
is. I mean, and I believe everybody have their part to play in it. It's just we have to respect each other. And
Yeah. Yeah.
this was good. I ain't gonna even lie. This was good. Yes. Jesus. Okay, Tay. I mean, I don't know where else we gonna go. But hey, that right there is accountability too, though. We have to respect each other.
Yeah. And shout out to Nisha Walker. I know she's not in the building, but shout out to her for tapping in.
Yes.
Shout out to
Yes.
Prentice, for
Yes.
tapping in, for
Yes.
but yeah, man, we just all gotta do better, man, and just speak to understand, and not just, we gotta listen to the whole matter too before we just jump and then try to, we just gotta do better, just listening to one another, and not just, interfering. So then that way you can get the whole matter, before you start talking.
Yeah, and Spy Boy, I'm Spy Boy. I am. I'm gonna look Byron up, and it's not to say that Byron don't have much. The man is educated, and the
Yeah,
man is wise. You
yeah, no
cannot
doubt.
take that. You cannot add, but he's very passionate.
Yeah.
He really is, and he's strong minded. And once his mind is set, it's like a dog with a bone in it. It's very hard to get him to come down, but I respect him, and I mean, I'm gonna look him up anyway, but I could tell by his conversation that he's an educated and knowledgeable man, and he do have a lot to say. So no one's taking
Right,
away from him at all.
yeah, no
So
doubt.
certified, cause look, I've been to go in the house. I mean, this was good.
Yeah.
We most definitely is gonna have to do this again. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I thank
you
you for tapping in. I thank you for the knowledge and the nuggets of wisdom that you did drop on tonight, and hopefully, we can resume on another subject next Friday if you're available.
yeah, yeah, and Princess, salute to you too. Thank you as well. What was the other gentleman name? The one that had on do
Oh,
rag?
oh yeah, a real campaign.
A real
Yeah, shout
campaign.
out
Yeah,
to a real
he
campaign
he
too.
had some nuggets too. So, hey, this was good. But until the next time, I'm out the building, Tay. I'm out
You
the
right
building.
on. Y'all check her out too. Y'all check her out too. Y'all follow her, man. Salute to everybody. Everybody, y'all stay blessed. Next time.